This is it, ladies and gents. It all comes down to Nuke. We've seen two pretty one-sided maps, although the last one was kind of strange. It was back and forth. It was one-sided one way than the other, and now it's all down to Nuke Dust. And I think coming into this, we expected that if it did go the distance to Nuke, Extra Salt were the firm favorites. Have you seen enough from Pain to make you feel like maybe this is more of a 50-50?
I feel like at this point it comes down to composure, right? I mean, are Pain able to kind of shake off the fact that they had their opponents right where they wanted them, that they were a map up, that they had a monstrous CT side on train, what they were at like 11-4 or something like that. They had their chance to 2-0 the series right then and there. They were in such good position and they let it slip. And so it's going to be up to them whether or not they, can keep their composure, let that one go, and then focus up. Especially considering the fact that fatigue has to be a problem for them. They just played another best of 3 prior to this one. Now, granted, it was a pretty quick best of 3. They didn't have to put forth too much effort to win it. But, they're basically going on now like their 5th map played in a row in the last several hours. So that's something else you have to think about. And I don't know how they'll handle that. Especially considering that we're going to a map Nuke that both teams are going to feel pretty comfortable on. I think Extra Salt's like 8-0 with this 5 on Nukes thus far, including having beaten Pain before on Nuke. And then you have a Pain team that's done relatively well on Nuke in their own right. I mean, they have a pretty high win rate on the map. They seem pretty comfortable playing it. So at least we get both, teams on a map that they feel confident on as like the final battleground to see who will get that Blast Premier spot. So that's nice. But yeah, to me, it's just going to come down to the mental game at this point. We've seen that both teams have plenty of firepower. They have plenty of ability to play fast-paced CS as well, slow it down when they need to. It's going to come down to those small 3-on-3 type situations, I feel like, and who's going to be able to have that grit and that good decision-making in those clutch moments.
Well, it feels to me as well that with a lot of the teams, the likes of Liquid, etc., going across the EU, like Extra Salt are almost the gods of NA at this stage, and they've held this kind of power over so many teams. At least Pain can look at it and think, we made the gods bleed. We've already taken a map from them. We've already got closer to winning a straight-up series than we have at any point in the past. And to put all those woes of Train behind them, a map that, honestly, they could have actually won. We're not coming out with Train saying it was like a 16-1 absolute wreckage. Like, they actually were in that game. The downside is they've lost the knife, and they start on the T side. So we'll have to see if they can pick up the pace here and deliver anything early on.
Yeah, as you noted there, kicking things off in the attack here on Nuke, looking to put some presence towards outside. They do put up a smoke there over towards Mini. But they're looking to hit this upper site quickly, but Sonic and company are more than prepared to handle it, and wow, it's already over. It's done.
Because there with the P250, we'll hope that's not the case. But yeah, for all intents and purposes, it looks like we are just crossing the T's and dotting the I's and putting a punctuation at the end of this. Because there was going to do a bit of damage at least. Make sure this isn't a complete clean sweep stomp. Well, he's a bit cognizant of potentially being wrapped around from outside, where Sonic is the closest to in the squeaky side, so he doesn't have to worry about that just yet. Bomb down. No flashes, nothing to really precede this push. Has to be raw. Flicks to the head. Sonic wasting a bit more time, and finally Big Azera will meet his demise. Extra Salt take first blood in our 3rd map.
Yeah, again, Extra Salt coming into Nuke 8-0 with this 5. 72% win rate on the CT side, around 66% on the T side. So they've been doing well on both sides of the map ever since they started playing with this lineup about a month ago. You look over at Pain, 15-3 record on the map. They're 61% on CT, 57% on T. So just to kind of give you a little bit of a breakdown on what to expect going forward, is we're going to see a quick push by the Brazilians up top once again.
Didn't work last time. Hasn't really worked out this time either. And it's not as if this is a full-on eco. They ran in with pistols, they ran in with Kevlar, and they have met the exact same fate. This time it's Nekis. Last man standing and not Big Azera. It should be the same result, though. Desert Eagle, no control over the bomb. And this has 2-0 written all over it, Dust. I don't even think that I can give him even more than like a 1% chance of clutching this round.
Dang. Okay. What about like 1.2%?
I think 1% might be quite
Give me
favorable
1.2.
towards him.
I got to move you somewhat. Let me have a small victory here.
Right, 1.1. There we go. Final offer.
Okay. At least I got something out of you.
He's waiting to try and take some of these weapons away. Like, he knows that it's not a completely lost cause if he can take a gun or two, and especially if it's one of the the rifles in play, then that would be great. But ultimately, this is just delaying the inevitable for the overall scoreline that will be taking shape in just a couple of moments. Doesn't even get a kill. Sonic will put him out of his misery, and Extra Salt will steamroll to a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, another little note to make is that if you look at like the core three that makes up Extra Salt, which is of course OC, Sonic, and JT, they've actually only lost Nuke once in the last 6 months in the region. It was once to Recon 5 in an ESEA Cup back in February. But everything else they've played in the last 6 months, they have been victorious. Just figured I'd put that one out there as well.
That just goes to show how incredibly strong they've been. Oh, OC with the Orc peering up towards Trophy Room. Takes down the Farag, and Marquis just rushes straight in with the MP9. This time there is no investment over on Pain Gaming. So this is more like what we were expecting to see. But the fact of the matter is they've only got 1 kill in potentially the first 3 rounds of the map. And that is going to be a bit of an issue. They need to start whittling away some of this economy.
Yeah, both times these two teams met off on Nuke over the last couple of months, both games, it was Extra Salt winning 16-9. They were able to get 9 rounds in the first half of both those games, once from the CT side, once from the T side. So they've shown the ability to play both sides quite well against Pain. And again, we're able to win both games pretty convincingly. But now we have the full buy from Pain Gaming to try to see if they can make things a different story this time around. Again, so much on the line here with that slot for Blast Premier, a chance to move over to Europe for a big tournament, show the best of the world what they're capable of. But Sonic and company are relentless here in this round, pushing up the radio, getting 2 kills and getting that bomb down.
Another solid start on Extra Salt. HC's being banked off the wall just to make sure anyone up close is going to take their fair share of shrapnel. It's done enough to force Pain Gaming away. They got PKL that's trying to make moves elsewhere, but ultimately this is one-dimensional. PKL has got onto Fang at least, but still that bomb is tantalizingly close for the T's, but they can't get their hands on it just yet.
No, not at all. Good positioning here from Extra Salt. Seem to have this thing on lockdown. Sonic swings with Marky, a great 2-for-1 trade. Now all on PKL, trying to come in from behind, but I think they're pretty aware of what's happening here.
That's just so grim as well for Pain Gaming. They had multiple Molotovs. They actually could have boxed them away in the claustrophobic, close-knit rooms that they were sat in. But that wide swing was perfect timing as a HE was tossed in. Like, it just couldn't have gone any better for Extra Salt. PKL, banking the Molotov, gets 1, but there is the re-peak from Sonic and a 4-0 start. And keep in mind, they came into this round with MP9s. So that's almost a bonus, and they come out with an AK and another victory.
Yeah, and they had a couple of guys at like $10,000 before they had to start rebuying here. So they have plenty of money to burn going forward. They had to lose like a couple in a row before they would finally have to save. And there's no chance Pain Gaming are going to be put them in that position with this purchase they have coming up. Just that 1 smoke grenade on PKL. Everyone else just going to be on Deagles. A few of them have armor. Safi does not. So it seems like a 5-0 is very likely for Extra Salt unless these Deagles can come up with something pretty massive. But so far, it's been a very one-sided affair. Only 5 players have died in total for Extra Salt in the 4 rounds played thus far.
Yeah, the bulk of them were in that previous round. Before that, it was very grim indeed. Now, although Deagles are in play and a bit of damage has been done to JT, who does get finished off. He shredded them on the approach. OC.
Wow, that's close.
Yeah, it was very close, but missing a bit of a sitter. The way he played last map, you kind of expect him to land every shot that's given his way. Kind of that's where his reputation precedes him, I guess.
Yeah, surprised to see him miss that one, as we do see Pain Gaming start to commit towards lower side. There's already a defender inside control room, and OC misses another. Or at least he didn't get the kill. Maybe he chipped him down. Definitely low health on Big Zera. Sonic kind of trapped here in the corner, but is able to break free.
OC maybe tested again. Maybe this time he will connect. No, he doesn't.
Ooh.
3 big missed shots. Puts it down into a 3-on-3. 40 seconds to play with. And they do still have control over the bomb. Now, Nekis and Big Zera both tagged, but there's now an AWP trade's hands. Big Zera has the courage to peek out there, knowing there could be a secondary player up in heaven. Realizes that's not the case. And now he maneuvers his way down onto ramp. Now, all 3 of them are moving down onto the B site. There are already rotations that have taken shape from the CTs who are waiting for them in the form of Marquis down in Decon.
Yeah, Sonic's also not too far away, kind of watching that secret position, but he's still very near the back halls and can be here to assist at any moment's notice. Looks like there might not even be a bomb plan here. If Marquis decides to peek and he gets his shots to land, actually does let it go on through and just holds the angle, finds Nekish just fine.
Closes Decon, waiting for the rest of the troops to arrive, so they can all come out as one united force. It's okay to deny a bomb plant. They already know that the round loss bonus is brimming to the full anyway. So that's fine, as long as they make the most of this retake opportunity, and Sonic gets the timing onto PKL. Big Azera is stuck up on top of the ramp. The bomb is planted for his side. Time is starting to dwindle away, but there are kits, there are nades, and that flashbang is perfect. Big Azera is down to 10 HP, and the bank grenade should seal the deal as it explodes, and Extra Salt pick up the 5-0 lead.
Yeah, and the problem is Extra Salt's money is still really strong. So even though they were able to get some kills and force some rebuys, it still hasn't really hit Extra Salt just yet. They have plenty of funds to spend. They still have plenty carried over. They'll take a couple of big victories in a row from Pain to ever force Extra Salt in a tough economic position. And the big problem with that, Vince, is not only is it rounds on the board, but it limits Pain's options. Trying to do anything fast towards upper, good luck. There's going to be incendiaries and smokes to greet you at the door. It means that they have to play more of that kind of outside control, methodical play, or just play at a slower pace in general. Makes it tough on them to maybe implement their full game plan.
The gap in the smoke allows the CTs to actually set up a crossfire, but Pain Gaming are already outside and up close. PKL with the up and over flashbang does affect JT, but only briefly. And OC, who missed a couple of shots in the last round that nearly cost them dearly, may have a chance to redeem himself. Pain Gaming quite slow, though, on their approach this round.
Yeah, they're actually concerned that maybe someone made it secret. You can see OC's actually watching window from lower sight, despite the fact that Feng had position towards outside already. So see that maybe there might be some miscommunication or just general misunderstanding of Pain's positioning, and now they're in a 3 versus 5. It gets even better for Pain at this point. Sonic has PKL pinned outside. We'll grab that kill. They still are behind in the round. OC gets caught. Wow, I don't know why he would have been with his pistol out. We didn't see it until it was basically already his demise, but that is a tough one.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. Maybe the fact that Sonic got the pick outside and just outside of main gave a false narrative or a false positive for the rest of Extra Salt, and so OC got caught. Yeah. But you feel like just keeping the AWP out there anyway, just being completely careful would be the play. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out for him, and Extra Salt will falter, and they will fail the first time. Paint Gaming to get on the board.
It just seemed like some miscommunication there that OC even went to go check control room with the op when Feng still had position over towards Secret. I'm not sure if there was some sort of timing that was missed, or maybe they thought they could have gotten Secret because Feng had gotten there a little too late to check, or whatever the case may be. But OC just gives up ramp room early, and then he just winds up getting caught, you know, switching weapons. And yeah, it just seemed like a comedy of errors there on the Extra Salt side of things. But again, they still have a sizable lead. They still have plenty of money to rebuy. So no long-term problems there, but that is a big catch for Pain Gaming to finally put around on the board here, not allow the lead to spiral too out of control in favor of Extra Salt. Again, a map that Extra Salt have been just dominating on in the region over the last 6 months. Again, 1 loss in 6 months. Both times they faced Pain, they have absolutely wiped the floor with them. So it's starting out very much the same way, but Pain has a big response in that round. Can they build off of it's the question now.
Question reverberating in the back of Pain Gaming's mind, I'm sure. Knowing that they were leading for the better part of a map and a half. And now, when it really counts, when the finish line is within reach and touching distance, I should say, they're slipping away slowly but surely, and there's a lot of grenade damage, but it's OC that actually gets the first pick. Nekis does come back in with one of his own. And that's pick is error as well, so Pain Gaming somehow holding on. It looked like this round would just slip away from them. The bomber has been dropped down in an awkward spot, and Marquis makes short work of PKL at least. So this 3-on-3 is falling into shape, but Pain Gaming have a lot of map control.
They do. They also still have plenty of clock as well to work with here. They're sneaking a player over around towards main. Safi has him kind of covered as well. They're threatening health control up to heaven. They still have ramp to be able to threaten lower. It's making it very hard for Extra Salt to get a read on things. And they have one player up here with Marquis who leaves his back exposed to heaven. A little bit of a detail miss there for him allows a free upper site now in a 3-on-2 post plant favoring Pain Gaming. And all of a sudden, that money has started to run dry on Extra Salt, so savings is likely what they're going to have to do here, Vince.
Yeah, towards the curse of the CT side. You just know that you're a couple rounds away from being shattered again. That's what's happened here. Sonic, who's had a fantastic game. He's 12-0. Really being a huge heavy hitter on Nuke. Trying to save his AK alongside JT, his fellow countryman. And the two of them may very well be able to hold each other's back. So at least they will take some weapons out of here. But the fact that Pain have done it twice in a row, and even in dire circumstances, losing the first play, they come back with 3 quick-fire frags. That is so huge.
Absolutely. Starting to see Pain Gaming come alive here on Nuke. Again, so much rides on this. Both teams with the map under their belts looking for this second map to win the series and to make their way over to Europe to play in the Blast Premier Showdown for spring. A chance to play against some of the best teams the world has to offer. A chance to get out of the region and spread their wings internationally. Make a statement. Try to prove themselves a bit here. Right now, Extra Salt are well out in front, but we see Pain Gaming has slowly been chipping away at that lead, Vince. They've got a couple in a row now, but Fang has got the opening pick at outside. Playing that aggressive position towards Secret, catches a player at red, and that's a great opening for Extra Salt.
We saw a similar opening last round as well, so Pain Gaming know they have it within them to still weather this, to bounce back with a quick fire entry. Safi's still alive.
Yep.
Always going to be a powerhouse player, an X factor. He hasn't had a great start to this game, but better late than never.
Ooh, we got a little bit of a bait and switch play here. JT playing with the rifle at ramp. He's got OC playing that corner position. May not matter, though. That's a great Molotov, putting Sonic in a tough spot, but he's going to get some coverage from Marky. A great job by his teammate to keep him covered. Now he can step out for one as well. All down the Harjao now.
1 on 3. Did get a kill earlier on, so they have a good idea as to where he currently resides. Bomb has now been retrieved. And with 45 seconds, he's got enough time to pick and choose which side of the map he wants to try and pivot into and pierce. Molly down. Sonic was here just a bit earlier. Fends off that position, but it's looking pretty grim for Harjao, honestly. He has no idea as to where Extra Salt are. The only thing he has going for him is he knows at least one player still on the CT side of A site, and Sonic is that man. And by the way, Sonic is still yet to die as we move into round 9. He's 14-0.
That is impressive. Must be said. I wonder how long can persist, though, Vince. What do you think? How much longer does he escape with no deaths?
Now we said it, probably dies now. In this
Probably
round.
does, yeah.
But still,
Unfortunate,
nine
really.
rounds, that's
It's
not
pretty
something you see very often at all. So,
No.
credit where it's due.
Actually, only 8 rounds, Vince. Learn some math. Now round 9. If he survives this one, it would be 9. Gotcha.
Got him.
How's it feel?
I'm absolutely devastated, mate. What can I say? Sonic's not, though. 15th kill.
You know it is devastating, your sleep schedule. That's a pretty good meme at this point in time. Of course, Vince casting from the UK. Me, I'm loving it. This is normal for me right now. As we got a 4-on-4 situation taking place right now here in round number 9. Sonic has a tricky position here on the hut. Going to be tough for Pain to clear if they commit to this upper side. But it seems like that is their intended target. They have no presence towards ramp just yet. They have, I guess they have that one player outside. Neck is still kind of holding position. I think he's on top of Mini, maybe? Yes, indeed he is.
Molly's being tossed in. Bigazera needs an entry. Spots the head bobbing and weaving of JT just up on the boxes. And they have OC as well. So Bigazera would do well not to get baited into this bait and switch. And so far, he's just holding his position. It seems like the rest of the T's are more interested over on the A side of the map, where Sonic can hear a lot of footsteps. Molly's and nades now being tossed out. Nekis has control over main. Looking to try and pivot out of main and take this site by force. Spray through as Sonic decides to make a move right here, right now. And this could be the round-defining and winning moment, but he sprayed a bit too early. Still takes down 2 frags. And with Marky cleaning up elsewhere, it's looking good. Bigazera shows his hand. And Sonic continues to be the immortal.
Yeah, so a couple things with that round. First and foremost, most important, Sonic still didn't die, so we didn't curse him, so that's good. Second is just the fact that Sonic maintained control of Hut in that late round situation was so big because it allowed him to kind of be the pivot point the rest of the team could kind of work around. Like JT never allowed them to get ramp room either. That was also pretty huge. And so with Sonic having Hut control, JT ensuring that ramp never got taken, they were able to, keep their player on the floor upper. They had a player still at heaven, and they were just able to swing on anything that Pain threw at them. That was just such good rotating and positioning from Extra Salt.
Pain Gaming now looking to try and spill their way down onto Secret Side. Wall of Smoke has been put in.
It's the first time they've really committed to it this early with this many numbers. It's a bit of a pacing change and also a bit more of a commitment rather than just kind of playing out the round very slowly. And I feel like something did need to change. Maybe this is the adjustment that they needed to finally get a little bit more success. Fang does have eyes on it, though.
Yeah, that crosshair is placed not perfectly, to mind you. It's a bit too low. I expect that to be raised a little bit.
Okay, you're nitpicking.
I am, but at this stage of the game, with so much on the line, you got to get in all those perfect angles. And to be fair, Fang has actually fell back. This is the perfect angle for the crosshair. And that's why PKL walks in slowly. He can now fend away. He's fobbed off this push for an extra few moments and allowed the crossfires to be established downstairs, but Fang doesn't even need any help, any support. He's a one-man army at this point. They smoke through to allow safe passage, but Fang is there to dispatch of more players. Safi gets 2 of his own, but it may be too little. It will afford them a post plant, but Extra Salt already have 2 of their 3 players up on ramp, but more importantly, they have Sonic, who's just shown his hand in decon. It's yet another kill to Sonic, and he still continues to be immortal. We're moving into the 11th round. He's still not died once.
Yeah, it's actually pretty wild at this point how long he's persisted. It almost feels like maybe now it's like a new mini goal for Extra Salt, is to see if they can get him through the entire half without falling. They obviously won't sacrifice their overall game plan to make it happen, but I mean, at this point, just, do it for the fans. As again, it just seems like their rotations are so on point right now. Like, I remember critiquing one of their rounds that they lost where it seemed like they had a miscommunication on outside control and they had like OC checking something he probably didn't need to be, and it kind of put him in a weird position. They wound up getting, punished for it. But from that point forward, everything has been pretty much flawless. Like, they're controlling, like, if they give something up, they're controlling something else that's very key, right? So they're never totally losing in the positioning battle. Even if they have to forfeit something, they're able to claim some type of forward angle, whether that be inside hut or inside ramp room, whatever the case may be. So they're doing really good on having pivot points. They're doing really good at their timings on when they swing with each other, using their utility very well. So it seems like everything is going according to plan as far as Extra Salt is concerned. For Pain, they are absolutely running out of steam. They have 4 players on 4 kills and 1 guy on 2, so that's 18 kills total. Sonic has that covered by himself, and he hasn't died. Just want to throw that one out there.
Yeah, and it'd be one thing if he was playing like super rat passive angles. He's actually been super aggressive. He's been playing a lot of the angles where you expect players to die.
Yeah, he's
so
been playing upper.
More impressive.
Most of the time. I mean, yeah, he's facing people upper a lot. So yeah, kind of wild to think that Sonic hasn't died and he has as many kills as Pain Gaming combined. Right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
just making sure.
Spot on.
Thanks. Matt's always risky as a commentator.
No, Marky. Okay, there we go. I was about to say he might actually burn alive, but he had a smoke to help him out. OC outside, though, is putting down bodies. Left and right, bagging and tagging them. Fang can now move out. As a result of that, they know that outside control is at least being tried and contested by the T's. And Safi is keeping them honest, picking up his 6th kill of the map. A 2-on-3, but the HP firmly in favor of Extra Salt.
Yeah, bomb down as well. JT doesn't quite have eyes on it, but can strike at any moment. Sonic gets his 19th kill, still yet to die. Can Safi? Nope, not happening. Man's got 20 kills and 0 deaths, Vince.
I'm now wondering, Dust, what the record is for like how long someone survived without dying in Counter-Strike.
I mean, I think Perfecto had one map where he like didn't die at all. But he only had like 9 kills or something like that. It was like one of the first games he played with Navi when he got picked up. I feel like he survived, I think, a whole map with 0 deaths.
It's like, I just genuinely don't think I've clattered a lot of Counter-Strike. I don't think I've ever seen someone in 20 and 0 before.
Definitely not in a professional match like this, no.
No. JT has met his demise, and with that, B-site should be at least a post-plant situation. They're taking a lot of ground early on. Downstairs comes the AK-wielding Sonic. As the double doors open, smoke in his eyes. He'll feel like no one can kill him at this point. You just see the confidence. You see it oozing through him, coursing through his veins.
I thought for sure this was the moment where he might actually die. That was a very dangerous situation he put himself in, but he didn't really have the choice. Now he's got reinforcements on the way. They have the 4-on-3. They have a chance to still retake the site.
AKs are being put down. Biggest error with the Deagle. Fang does come out. And OC puts down Hard Zhao. PKL with the spray with the Mac 10. Can't get it done. And Sonic is 22-0.
Bro, MVP of that round, Fang, he took a bullet for his boy Sonic.
Good guy.
What an absolute lad. Literally stepped in front of a bullet for Sonic. They were lined up, and him dying is what keeps Sonic at 0 deaths. Never mind the fact that Extra Salt just played out the round perfectly as far as rotating well, coming through together on control side, having each other covered, just moving methodically through the hallway. I mean, it was just perfect clearance from Extra Salt, who are now at a 10-2 lead, with 3 rounds left to play, including this one. I'm rooting for Sonic. I know we're supposed to be a neutral fence, but I'm really rooting for Sonic at this point to get through the half with 0 deaths.
It would be huge.
I need it.
From a neutral's perspective, if Pain Gaming can win the next 3, but Sonic can somehow survive and, like, save.
That's fine.
You know?
I'm okay with that.
I'm down with that for a closer affair.
I just want Sonic not to die. I don't really care how the rounds go. If he needs to be an absolute rat and sit in CT spawn for the next 3 rounds in a row, I'm fine with that.
But also, you know, to bring it back onto the central focus of this as well. This is the grand finals with a spot of Blast Premier up for grabs, and now you pull out this performance.
Unreal. I think he still, he still has the entirety of Pain Gaming covered by himself, Vince. 22-22. I think I did that math right. Yes. Unreal.
JT gets splattered again, but OC and himself both dived in with a kill apiece, putting it down to a 2-on-4. Not for the first time. Pain successfully get downstairs, but that is only half of their struggle. We've seen them get plenty of B-sided plants and still concede the round, because typically, even when they get to B, it's a great cost. They're not getting down there as 5 players. It's normally as 2 or 3, and they've got weakened. They're basically limping down there with very low firepower. This is maybe a way forward, but they're not even sure if these players have moved in. There's only 25 seconds as well. Big frag onto Fang.
Nice. That is nice. They don't have any smokes for coverage, though, is kind of the problem. So they're going to have to just plant and just play good positions. They are separated from each other, though, is the other big problem. They can kind of get picked apart now. Nekus is just trying to cover the ramp, throwdown. Hard Zhao's in the double stack corner, but you best believe that Incendiary is going to get thrown in that position, Vince.
Yeah, it's one of the go-to spots in situations like this. You expect it's going to get covered very quickly. Nekus down on 5 HP. Molotov tossed in, forces him out. And now they're just checking their angles, and Sonic goes in for yet another one. 11-2 lead. Extra Salt are looking pretty much flawless.
Vince, again, Sonic has the entirety of Pain Gaming covered by himself. They're tied at 23 apiece. Sonic versus Pain Gaming. And he's still not dead. And there's only 2 rounds left to go.
I wonder what his ADR is.
Imagine if he gets through the entire half, tied in frags with Pain by himself, and doesn't die. That would be like the most crazy, like, cross-cancel of math I've ever seen in my life. We're so close.
Gonna have some aggression over on A. Marquee will be tested, smoked down just to extinguish the Molotov, but Nekus is actually, he's Vent Dove. It's a B-sided play, but a different take on it. We haven't seen too many vent dives as of yet. It's typically been ramp-centered. Marquee getting aggressive, but that flashbang that was tossed in to try and help him, I think, bounced off his back.
Uh-oh, JT's in trouble. He has no idea. Oh, no way.
How?
Nah. That's a bitter pill to swallow.
That is a massive whiff. I've got to call a spade a spade. Like, Nekus has got to get that kill, man.
He really was the trump card of that round, you have to feel. He was the X factor that could break it wide open, but instead he's not, and now Extra Salt, they're up in a 4-on-3 with a minute left to play. Bomb is still in position of Pain Gaming. They're starting to move towards upper side, but Marky still stands, Vince. And he's got help from Sonic up top on the rafters. And JT's in heaven. But Sonic's died! No!
The Titan Slayer. Down goes Sonic, and Safi gets a second. And with Sonic's life cashed in, the round should follow. We won't have the flawless clean sweep half for Sonic. But now OC is still in with a shot,
You know
still
what?
in
It's
with a
probably
chance.
for the best because now we can just let it go and actually focus on truly broadcasting the game. We were really sold in that storyline. But to be fair, let's just sum it up. He kept Pain Gaming equal to his number of frags and didn't die for 13 rounds in a row. That's wild.
No.
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 Okay.
Okay, Big
I couldn't
Zero.
have handled that. I could not have handled that.
The
I don't
insurance
think Pain
policy
could have
comes
either.
in.
Yeah, big job. The Pain hanging around, Vince. They get a big round there. At least it keeps them treading water, I would say. Certainly still in very turbulent seas right now, but at least they've been able to not fully submerge. As we go into the final round of the half, they need to get this fourth round. You have to feel, and they need that pistol in the second half to stay competitive. Extra Salt have been so on point on the defense here.
Getting out the door, allowing Safi to peer into Garage, but there's a smoke there from Marquis. He's ahead of the script on this one. OC, in the meanwhile, actually dives down in towards the decon area. This shows how B-centered Pain have been. It's very rare, I would say, that you see an AWPer actually take an early position down here. But Safi, in the meanwhile, has put Sonic down. He's now found out that he can bleed. He is mortal after all.
Doubled his deaths in 2 rounds, Vince. Unforgivable. Cut him. On a serious note, go ahead.
This is where we said before, you know, Sonic has everyone covered by himself. This is where he needs the rest of his team to step up. If he is going to go down early in rounds, especially over on the T side, do they have the other players that can rinse out and actually start to pull these rounds back?
I mean, we have seen like the others do pretty well throughout the half. Like, I mean, JT, I guess, had a couple of struggles here and there, but most of the other guys have been able to step up when they've been required. They haven't been called upon too much, to be honest. But now they're in a 3 versus 4. This is where they do need to shine if they want to try to keep this round from going Pain's way, who are looking to push on the upper side, and Marky's up to the task.
No mollies, no flashes, nothing to precede that push, and the top of heart will be their detriment. They are still alive, but 6 HP on both remaining Brazilians up against JT. He's only got 4 kills in this half to his name. He's been the ramp player and bullied around a lot of the time. Now down he comes. Silo player of Safi on the wide swing. Big headshot. It will be 11-4. An Extra Salt just 5 rounds away from securing their spot at Blast Spring Premier. We are back. Extra Salt lead 11-4 in our all-important deciding matchup in the Grand Finals. It's getting late here. I'm getting tired dust, but look, I've got some awesome Counter-Strike to cast. Let's get into this.
Yeah, this has been fantastic. Extra Salt dominating here so far on Nuke. They got absolutely battered on Inferno. They were looking like they were going by the wayside on Train, but they recovered. They took the map, and now they're here dominating on Nuke. OC and company have a trade outside, get us into a very early 4 versus 4 situation here, as Pain Gaming trying to play from well behind on the attack. Trying to get ramp room control is Extra Salt, and they will claim it.
Oh, 1 HP, Hardjow survives. And knew that he couldn't push too far forward because he would just get wide swung from ramp. Still goes down, Extra Salt now in a good position, post plant to get this one done. And we felt like, honestly, second pistol was a massive lifeline that Pain Gaming had to grasp onto with both hands. And the fact of the matter is, it is slowly ebbing away. In those waters you were talking about before, the tide is picking up. Safi needs this kill, gets it. JT falls to his wake. They still need to scramble together to get the rest of these T's outside of the double doors. Bigazera shuts down Sonic, and Safi is playing a game with the doors. Finally, the kills come out, and Fang may have done enough. The time should favor him. I don't think there's a way. He's staring, he's trying to find the defuse kit, and Bigazera realizes won't be happening. I'm pretty sure he will survive to the bomb. But it's 12-4 dust.
Oh my god.
It was down in the dark spot. Absolutely wrecked.
There's a 2-word phrase for what I could say about that, but it's not stream safe. Let's just say he got wrecked.
Yep.
That is insane. I wonder if he actually would have had time if he actually jumped down there and grabbed the kit. It's
super close, yeah.
It would have been close, yeah. Hard to say. Tough loss, though, for Pain. They will force up here with the scouts in a Mag 7. One FAMAS as well in play for Big Zera. Not a bad player to put the FAMAS on, that's for sure. He's been so good today.
I think he's one of those players that can do so much with so little as well.
Yeah.
Like one of those star elements that you're looking towards. JT, that entry was lightning fast. PKL didn't even have a chance to pull the trigger.
No, he did his best
hit
like
him.
floor exercise at the gymnastics, the Olympic Games. Big somersault.
In this post plant, the Pain even want to risk these weapons. They still got Mag 7. It's very useful on a map like Nuke. They got the Scout, they got Deagle. Well, Nekis won't be saving his Mag 7, that much is for sure, but maybe Harjao can go ahead and pick that one up for his teammate.
Yeah.
Actual fact, why bother? There's a Galil there available. Harjao now needs to put that against the T's. Big frag onto Fang. I don't think it's worthwhile trading back and forth, though.
It was to a degree. Like, you don't want them carrying a Galil over, sure, but you don't also want to overextend and throw everyone out there, because then it gets a little bit dicey. But I don't mind what they did by sending a couple out there. And they did a good job. That means that only a scout gets carried over, and they retain 3 rifles themselves. So that was a pretty favorable exchange for Extra Salt. Plus, they got the round, and they have such a big lead. I mean, really, everything points to Extra Salt taking this map at this point. It would take such a recovery from Pain Gaming, such a crazy effort to put this map back into contention. But it's not happening this round, Vince, that's for sure. They only have that scout and a couple of P250s in play here. It does seem like maybe they finally run out of gas.
It's a similar story to Train, really. It felt like Inferno was a map that everyone turned their heads at and said, hold on a second, is this finally where Pain Gaming get that elusive revenge? And since then, well, actually not since then, because the first half of Train was very, very one-sided.
Zeus.
Harjao had it earlier on. Inferno didn't get any success. Will he at least get it this time? He does! There we go. Hold a second. Pain Gaming are actually maybe going to win this round as well. It's not just the Zeus kill. It's not just the gimmick. They've actually got bullets behind it that are connecting. JT's been dropped down to 6. What a ludicrous turn of events this is going to end up being. Unless JT can pull out the 6 HP clutch. Nekis, first point to call, shoots enough just to force him back. But Nekis doesn't really have to get the kill. He just has to bide his time, make the calls. Flashbang is anything but ideal. May get the kill into Nekis. Does get the kill into Nekis. That's at least another player that we'll have to watch on from the sidelines. Dropping down towards the site. We'll be tickling the bomb, hoping to draw some CTs, but be careful what you wish for. PKL is there. Pain Gaming win the round with a Scout, a Zeus, and a P250.
Yeah, I saw Harjao's kill, obviously, but I'm kind of confused how the rest of it broke down. That was absolutely wild. I don't know if he caught enough of a ruckus to get some other exchanges from Turnpike or whatever the case may be, but that is definitely a round you would not expect Extra Salt to drop. And you can see that it hurts them quite a lot. Their economy is so very low to rebuy what they've purchased here, which is just 2 Galils, an AK, and 2 Deagles. And if Pain Gaming could come up here and win this round, they will very likely get a free 7th. And then all of a sudden, the gap begins to close and the game becomes a little bit more intriguing. It's no longer a formality for Extra Salt. It becomes a contentious match. And so that little eco victory may wind up proving to be pivotal. Equal exchange thus far in this round, however.
It's an even exchange, but it has let Marquis move downstairs already. That's drawn away more players over on ramp that Pain Gaming were comfortable with. Leaves them a bit more vulnerable outside, for example. They have 2 players stacked on a side. Marquis goes in again. The flash, though, comes to the rescue of the Heaven player, but Sonic sprays them both in. He was 23-0 at one point. He's definitely slowed down since then, but it would be a huge moment for Extra Salt if he can recapture some of that energy. Safi moving through, HP advantage in favor of Pain Gaming, and makes that AWP work again. Although he gets dinked, it's down to 7 HP because of the Galil, and Pain Gaming successfully get the defuse.
Indeed, they will get the 6th, and again, very likely a 7th. Even with that bomb plan, Extra Salt do not have the money to spend into this round. An op for Safi will carry over. AK carries over for Harjao that he was able to pick up. Extra Salt likely full saving here are no more than maybe some upgraded pistols. You see some deagles being purchased. That's going to be about it here. So Pain will get the 7. If they can get to about 9, all of a sudden you have to start really considering that a comeback is possible. They are not too far off. For as much as they were getting absolutely battered in the first half, they have played some huge recovery already here in the short amount of time we've been in half number 2.
Yeah, it does feel like that 13-6 scoreline is a lot more vulnerable and there's a lot more cracks beneath the surface than it may seem.
Yeah, it all comes down to the economy situation. Really for both teams. To be fair, if Pain were to drop too many weapons here, that could still be a problem for them long term. So, need to win this, and they need to win it clean. That's certainly a good start, catching JT and Radio. Outside being taken by Extra Salt, but can they get any further is the real question. And so far, PKL says no.
Safi with the first, alleviating the pressure, and PKL coming in for seconds. Nekis, he's also going to get himself in amongst the action. So Extra Salt came through with very little, had big expectations and aspirations, but they've been pretty much doused down. Now Marky had a lot of impact in that last round, has a Desert Eagle by his side. Won't be getting anything. Bigazera splatters him against the wall, 13-7, and this is another very important round. Extra Salt will have a bye.
Yeah, if Pain were able to win this, and then likely force Extra Salt into yet another save if they can't get a bomb plant, then all of a sudden they are almost on Extra Salt's heels. They'd be at 9 and with momentum. So, yeah, this is definitely a very...
Salt return the favor. It's vastly important round, and they're taking it slow to kick things off, understandably.
Yes.
Looking for an execute over onto A. Flashes are going to be proceeding. Any kind of a push through on Hut's side, they start to spill out. Safi's been flashed multiple times, but now it's cleared. Nekis doing enough job just to alleviate some of the pressure, and now all the CTs are moving around. Such a fast rotation. And Hardjow tagged down to 10, but it's Bigazera that helps him out. And Pain Gaming do take the round.
Yeah, no bomb plant, so no hope for a purchase here from Extra Salt. They're going to have to concede this round as well, and Pain should be at 9 any moment. That was so well done from Pain Gaming. You know, Safi able to stay alive for so long at upper, peak at just the right times, and not only get his kills, but then free up the ability for his teammates to push through that mini smoke, confident that the players upper were going to be distracted. They'd actually be able to come in and at least get 1. And so they stayed ahead in the man count all the way through, just trading so effectively. And this is the benefit that they've earned. They've earned essentially a free 9th round. There is a vent drop here from Extra Salt, but they're still with limited firepower and utility to work with here.
They've successfully bent, though, 4 players.
Might get a bomb plant because of it. Harjao, though, is in position to maybe put a stop to it.
Yeah, down there really quick. PKL as well does at least make the odds a little bit more favorable for Pain. Picking off the first. Safi's now made moves through. They've got his attention. They still haven't fully exploded out onto the site. Maybe because of that decon smoke that was put down.
They had the 1 smoke from Feng. That's going to be what they need to actually get out here and try to get this plant in. But that HE grenade and the spray of Harjao is going to deny that plant. Harjao even able to pick up on Sonic despite the jump that Sonic had on him. And so there is that 9th round from Pain. Wasn't too labored either. They were able to pretty easily put that one away. And now they are getting very close to Extra Salt. The lead is really starting to drain Vents, but a full buy is back from Extra Salt.
Can rewatch all of the action over the Blast qualifiers on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Venn Esports. Definitely give that a subscribe and watch through all that content. In the here and now, though, Pain Gaming actually making a real claim for themselves to get back into this map and the grand finals and potentially make that qualifying spot theirs.
Yeah, if you're still just joining us, again, we had Pain Gaming win a very one-sided game on Inferno to open up the series. We then went on to Train, the pick of Extra Salt, where again, Pain Gaming built up a massive lead on their CT side, but Extra Salt had a huge comeback, wound up winning Train, and then they forced Nuke. They had a big CT side. But now we're seeing Pain recover on their own defense in a big, big way. Safi, huge opening pick there onto OC, and he's able to escape. That's the big benefit. The big bonus was able to get out of there. We're not seeing Extra Salt get a whole lot of refract potential on this map, Vince. Pain are doing such a great job maneuvering around, finding openings, and not really allowing Extra Salt to find any gaps to exploit.
Right, and it's the same story on the other side. You know, they were constantly struggling to get any avenging frags on their T side, Pain Gaming. A second kill has also came down. JT, outside control, just checking the spawn. No one's home. Hardjow moving in. They know outside is under control from the T, so they're now setting up. This crossfire should be so dangerous to deal with, but they actually come out ahead. Overall, though, they're still well and truly behind. It's a 2-on-3, but JT's down to 12 HP. And although they'll start to make a move downstairs, maneuver their way through on the B site, Safi is waiting. Misses the first shot, though. Forces them back, but Big Azera down in decon. This round should be tied up, and it should be tied up in a few moments' time. At least Fang is going to take down Safi, so he's straining that economy a little bit more, but it's not as if they have a lack of cash. They'll just
probably
fine.
Get a plan as well. You have one player in Vince, one player still on the lower floor. He's coming up through heaven. It's going to come down to the timing, but he may get a plan in. That probably is going to be it, though. Oh, just misses it. Or did he get it? Nope, never mind. Wow, that was so close to being a plant. And then he would have actually had a 1v1. That was so razor thin. But Pain do come out on top, Vince. They have it 10-13. Tactical timeout from Extra Salt. Can't blame them. Times are starting to get a little bit tough. Might need to get someone BLS certified to perform that Heimlich maneuver.
Yeah, and the only 2 rounds you can see there came off the back of the pistol. Since then, it's been 6 unanswered rounds, including a timeout and only 1 defusal. So the bulk of these rounds have actually been very straightforward for Pain.
Yes. And money has become a real problem for Extra Salt because they're not getting those bomb plants. So it's not allowing them those extra funds to keep forcing through buys. It means that rounds like this, where with the bomb plant, maybe they could have had a full AK buy. They're having to sacrifice, you know, to get Galil's just to be able to get some utility in place. And now momentum's well and truly shifted. Their big lead is withered away. They're still out in front, but they're running out of cushion. And they've really not inspired much confidence. Like, they really haven't even shown, like, a chance to win around this T side yet. There's only been like maybe 2 close rounds this entire half that I can recall. They're really struggling to get opening picks.
A lot of utility already dumped out on Squeaky, but again, Extra Salt can maneuver their way downstairs. 4 players, in fact. So there'll be a fast rotation down from the CTs via ramp, I would assume. But JT is already downstairs on the site, hopping across to nullify and negate any AWP shot that may be forthcoming. Safi's played this position multiple times. And it's a post plant. And whereas Pain Gaming got downstairs time and time again on the B site, they never got down here on a 5v5. This is a completely different ball game. There are so many angles you have to cover. Now, you look at the utility, there's tons in supply for Pain. They've got an incendiary, they've got tons of flashbangs. Plus, they've just taken down the first frag of Sonic, who has been by far the biggest, heaviest hitter on Extra Salt. But now JT is up to the task. He gets himself too. Hardjow just wide springs around the corner, gets 2 of his own, but now OC's holding the line. 2 of the players remaining for Extra Salt, both of the double doors, and Marquis carves a path with a beautiful headshot and then finishes it off onto Big Azera. 14-10 lead now. Extra Salt get their first and what will feel like forever on their T side.
I feel like Hardjow is like a 1/10 of a second away from being fully covered by the ramp and not getting hit by that headshot from Marquis. Marquis hits a headshot with like a sliver of timing available. That was such a crazy headshot to hit to end the round because it came down to a very tight 2-on-2. And that kill from Marquis changed everything. It ensured the victory, essentially, for Extra Salt. Wish we could see that again. That was wild. And now money is vulnerable for both sides, Vince. It could still all come down to this round here and now. Whoever loses is well and truly in trouble when it comes to spending power coming up next. There is no loss bonus built up for Pain Gaming. So they could be well and truly in hot water.
Well, that heat is certainly being turned up quite a few notches. Pain, Max 7 on Nekis. A Hardjow, multiple angles to watch out for, but holds the line in style with 2. Above and beyond what anyone could have expected from him. It looked like it was a one-and-done spot all day long. But that off angle caught them off guard, and now they'll look to try and push down B again.
Yeah, PKL able to survive as well outside, keeping JT tied up. Safi now will come up to assist him, gets that kill, and that makes a lot of trouble for Extra Salt because now they only have a 2-on-4 ahead of them. They will maybe get this bomb planted, but holding off a retake. Good luck with only 2 standing.
Sonic and Marquis, though, have both played an excellent nuke so far. There is a way forward. PKL is low. Again, tons of utility at the disposal of Pain Gaming. PKL making moves down secret. They also have the doors control. Sonic is trying to pivot in for kills, but Marquis now is all alone. Back to the wall, multiple angles to cover. And he will falter at the second hurdle. Extra Salt, they get one. They instantly go back into losing ways.
Yeah, but at least they got that bomb plant and they didn't get the hard reset, right? They still have plenty of loss bonus left over. And so they will be able to get a full buy into this round for the most part. If they so choose to spring for it, they should be able to get, you know, most of the rifles they would want. It's up to them whether or not they want to take more of the halfway approach, give Pain Gaming the 12th round, and then make sure they have a full buy in the next. They haven't had too many, like, truly full buys this half, Vince. I mean, they've mostly been relying upon getting Galils and such to, you know, be able to afford what utility they could. And you just have to wonder at some point, do they decide, okay, let's just hold back one round. Let's just make sure we get, you know, all AKs, full nade sets. But at the same time, you don't want to give Pain anything away for free because your lead's already withered away quite a lot. You want to maintain distance as best as you can. So they will get the one AK on Sonic, and then everyone else is going for Deagle Tech 9. And so this is good because everyone's kind of around that $2,000 range, which means if they lose here, they should get a nice full buy of full AKs in the next round. So I really like this approach. This is a nice middle-of-the-road take on what to spend. It gives them a chance to pose a threat this round, but it also makes sure that they're good to go in round number 27.
Also may afford them the luxury of an AWP if they want to for OC.
Yep.
Had a lot of very good rounds on the CT side. Has been a little bit absent on the T side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hasn't had an op yet here in the second half. Again, not necessarily a requirement for T-side nuke strategy. And again, the economy has just never really been there. It looks like they want to go for some type of late ramp room, and they catch it. Great timing on PKL. Harjal, though, with such an epic response. Those two kills mean everything.
Man, Harjal in ramp is a real beast. Like, he has done so much work in positions where you expect most players to just get wrecked. Like, nothing they could really do in response. And with those two frags, it just stymies the push, allows that secondary player to move down on B, which is Safi. And they also have
if he goes
Nekis,
down,
it's
the
out
round's
close.
over. Probably. Extra Salt probably at map and series point if Harjal goes down there. Especially if he gets no kills on the way out. That was so big.
OC, though, does deal with Nekis. Bigazera up close on Squeaky. Very important kill again. Goes the way of Pain Gaming. They may line up for Bigazera. That would be a mistake. And the M4 reaps more frags. OC, no chance at the bomb plant. AK spray is off. But Extra Salt, remember, they only came through with one AK and tons of Kevlar and Tech 9. So this is what they've been waiting for.
Yeah, this is the moment. If they lose this round, the tie is so very likely because the money would be well and truly depleted for the most part here. They're still hovering right around max loss bonus, however. So if they get a bomb plant, they'd still be okay. But it's starting to get to a point where that's just not good enough anymore. Like, you need victories now because Pain Gaming are breathing down your neck. They have really been able to just keep their composure, put everything to the side, and just focus up on their CT side, and they are delivering. But that's a big shot from Fang. That could change everything. And they're wasting no time collapsing on this A site fence.
Well, Safi remains last man standing, moving in from ramp. And, well, pretty much going to have to walk over the corpse of his teammates if he's to clutch this. I don't think he's even interested. I think this is just going to be a save. Yeah, especially when you look at the finances. They can't really afford to throw this AWP away. So Extra Salt, I mean, they've been... I've got to say, Pain Gaming have been excellent on their CT side, but this is always the issue when you have a vast deficit going into that second half. Only one or two sort of denials and you're absolutely screwed. Like, there's very little maneuverability. Safi is doing a lot of work here, and that's actually pulled it off into a 1-on-2. But the bomb has been planted for so long, not really feasible. It's a nice try, but that's all it's going to be.
I mean, the fact that getting away with the op was his main objective, and he's accomplished that in spades. He's gotten a lot of kills on his way out as well, forcing a lot of rebuys out of Extra Salt. And honestly, that's kind of massive, because if they can keep winning, which, I mean, they have to do. One loss, they're over with. But think about the long term. If they're able to get to 13, 14 rounds themselves, all of a sudden Extra Salt's money is gone because they've had to rebuy virtually all of their players because of chasing after Safi's op right here. So don't get me wrong. Pain have to win out to capitalize on that, but it does set up like a really nice bonus long term if they can actually get there. The problem is they are really having to just unbolt everything and launch the kitchen sink at extra salt because it's MP9s. It's the one saved op. Nekis and Big also probably gonna have to go SMG or FAMAS or something. So it's gonna be a tough climb to get there. But at least Safi set something up potentially for later.
Yeah, I think Safi deserves a lot of credit as well for how well he's played on the CT side. I did say at one point he's a little bit quiet on the T half, but definitely
Think about
came
this whole
alive.
tournament. He has been such a stud. A name to watch out for sure.
Oh, let's see if they can get it done with the SMGs. 3 of them in total, FAMAS and the AWP alongside it. Not a great deal of utility. 2 players already have nothing. And Neck is just down to a smoke alongside Hajao, so they're going to have to do so much and waste so much time, and this may force them into aggressive angles. It's understandable that Safi comes through with 1. Neck is instantly retorted on, though, and although the bomb is in an awkward spot, they have smoked them out.
Yeah, they know that they can't really hold on to that bomb, and JT finds a big entry on upper side. Back to a 3-on-3. This is getting dangerous now for Pain. This could be over soon. Missed shot is going to mean everything. Great retaliation.
OC, 1-on-2. For all the marbles, for a qualification spot. Hajao is keeping him interested, but OC realizes that there's the wide swing Pain Gaming. They hold on. And it's not as if the finances over an extra salt are fantastic either.
And at one point, Sonic had the entirety of Pain Gaming covered by himself. In fact, we were 13 rounds deep on the server, and he had as many kills as the rest of Pain combined. Now, all of a sudden, Safi has 31 kills to Sonic's 30. He surpassed him. And he's done so just with such impact. And look, finally he gets to net the benefit. Look at what Extra Salt had to use in this round, Vince. Overtime is looking tantalizingly close.
Just a couple rounds away. But that will feel like miles and miles for Pain Gaming. They just have to have their head in the game. And make sure they capitalize on this. OC pushing through the smoke and takes down Hajao, who's been such a rock, such a pillar on ramp. But that has been demolished by the sledgehammer. That is OC, and now they continue to just push straight downstairs. B-site again. PKL, an important kill. It was looking a little bit rough for a few moments. A 4-on-4 post plant.
You're so right, Vince. Hardjow is such an X factor. Him being off the board and them taking ramp that clean and getting a post plant 4-on-4, that could be such a difference maker in how this plays out.
Already a third of the time is whittled away. And Pain are no closer to getting this retake. Now they're pushing through on the decon side. Nekis will be going in first. They only have a smoke and a couple of flashes. No incendiaries, no HEs, but they do have the opening picks. Fang and JT have gone down. OC, 1-on-3. Needs to just deny this bomb defuse as long as possible, and he may have done it. OC is going to keep this one alive for Extra Salt, and they will qualify to Blast Spring Premiere.
What a fantastic clutch from Marky, the hero that his team needed. He came just at the right time. What an individual play, but what a great movement from OC to set him up for that. Oh my goodness, that was so well done. Extra Salt looked down and out at the bulk of times throughout this series. The first map, they were completely absent.